Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, Big Fall. Thinking right out here doing what I do for you. I got a nice little lesson. This is like part two, but it's good information, so let's do what we do. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storyteller, story with a message. Message is story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in, receive them. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers way of life, which is mine, through mental and spiritual discipline daily, which is what I do. And it will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is to get all my right thinkers to do that. And the phrase of my man Malcolm, by any means necessary. So I'm gonna do what I need to do for you to do what you need to do. Know thyself. That should be your goal. It's my mission. I asked the question, do you know you? If you don't have the answer for yourself, it's rhetorical. But if not, tune in. I can help you with just that. That's what I do for you. Help you to know you. Let's go. A person who knows not and knows not that they even know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right think of know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. I left off with doing Nebthet. Excuse me, right think. Let's talk about Nebthet. Alright? And it was Isis or Aset, the serpent goddess. Now we're gonna master the Nebthet principle and the mysteries of life and death. Remember, Nebthet represents mortality. Okay, the physical world. Aset represents immortality, the spiritual world. So let's talk about it. We started out, and I went through the whole lesson. That's after that one. This is the next one. Now, Nebthet, therefore, what represents the mysteries of another aspect she has, which is symbolized, watch this, in what? In her relationship with Asar. She's nature, Asar spirit. Let me get on, man. I got a bunch of stories. See, when you start learning them, you become personally affiliated with them. I know that. I know the story. So let's just get the lesson. Sorry about that. Now, this is the aspect or feature, which is what? Which of the voluptuous nature of the world. What they're saying is she was pleasing to the eyes. Okay? And the seductive nature of what? The world. And without you actually knowing it, you have fallen prey to it when what? You succumb to what? Watch this. The desires for the world and its objects and or belief system. Gotta stop right there for a second. It's gonna be a lot of stops. It may take a while. Hear what he just said. If you get caught up seductively with the world, objects of the world, having things, wanting things, you don't even know it, but now you're caught up in it. Now the ego is driving. The ego is getting what it wants. Why? To drive the car. Watch this. And even when you follow a belief system, which is relative realities, meaning they're not real, this one I'm trying to show you. Nebthet is showing you the illusions of the real world. So follow along. That's the point. I hate that cut out the bad, but watch this. Now, as every time I read through this, like my third, fourth time, I get something different. At one time, I wasn't going to give this lesson because I thought it was a whole bunch of fluff. Not so much. This is good stuff. Okay, so watch this. Now, after that, you are actually dying. hmm When you have sexual experiences, remember the semen is life's giver, and if you don't waste it, it preserves your life. Another lesson. I'm getting a lesson about semen. I keep forgetting semen retention, but yeah, the semen is the life. So every time you give it away, take away your life. So that's what she's trying to show you in the real world. That's physical part that's going on. And watch this. Actually, all experiences are really what? Aspects of sexual experiences. Why? Because they relate to what? Acquiring something to make yourself whole and the life force of Nebthet, what sustains that process. Nature keeps you wanting your desire. Remember, her mate is set. See, we're going with this. So now, for example, about watch this. For example, where we at? When you eat something, makes you feel good. Yeah, okay. When you hug someone, makes you feel good again. But all of this is what? Physical. Pay attention. Or when you go out and feel the warmth of the sun, or well, yeah, sun, or think about a garden and smelling the roses and the flowers. If you like the change of the seasons, I'm strapped up because it's a little chilly now. Okay, in summertime I'm in here with the air conditioner, heat air that way, heat that way. Now the heat is on, I'm burning up, I'm dressed up. So the seasons change. Okay, if you like being the beach on the beach, all wondrous universe, all these things are what? Seductive. Females are attractive. We want the female. The man want the woman. When the man wants the man, he got some issues, but the natural order things is you want the opposite. Females are seductive. They got the curls. That's what nature made it like that. So understand that. But in the world, it's just the same. In this mental world, you understand you've been seduced. Watch this. And all these things that are wonderful and beautiful about the world, the stars and the wondrous universe, all that is beautiful. All that beckons you to what? Come outside of what? Yourself. And that is death to what? The inner higher self. What? Watch this. What we are talking about here, watch this, is that if you, listen now, if you discover the wholeness that you are, aka, you know that self, watch this. You don't need to be looking into what? Anything in the world, and you will not care about anything in the world. Sound familiar? You would be indifferent to it all. If it is there, fine. If it's not there, also fine. Again, you are not desiring to go to Hawaii or the Bahamas to experience what that so-called wonderful beaches and sunshine and atmosphere, excuse me, and the food and all the people you can meet and make friends and those kinds of things. So you can what? Enjoy life and have a good time, etc. If that's your thing, you caught up in the world. That's what you trying to tell you. That is letting you know that. Watch this. So you really want to get on top of this. That's what I'm going with that. Watch this. But watch this. If there is that call to go out and have experience and enjoyment, that call is beckoning you to what? Death of your soul, of your higher personality. Why? Because it causes you to what? Degrade yourself and be dependent upon what? Limited and finite experience for your enjoyment. When I was coming up, Friday, Saturday night, man, we partying. We gonna let our hair down and wild out. That was a way of life. That's what you worked all week and you hung out on the weekend. Okay? That was part of social. That still is. It ain't nothing changed. That life is still there. You know when you're getting old, when you go do what you used to do, you feel like the old guy. You know you're not outgrow that scenario. That's all. It's the phase of life. It's there for those who gonna practice and do it like anything else. The hustle game's still there. You still got drug dealers out there doing the same thing. The game ain't changed, just the people. Okay. So you made a decision to get out the game. Okay, you walk away. The game ain't gonna miss you. Trust me on that one. All right. But you rely on that for your enjoyment. Watch this. For your sense of worth and dependence upon what? The delusions that life is meaningful and worthwhile if what? You can only enjoy it. Really? In accordance with what? To you, enjoying life is in accordance with your desires. Here we go of the what? The ego self within you. Hello. When you getting satisfied physically, monetary things, people at your, you are doing you. That was the lifestyle. And some people still live it. It ain't changed. What? Those people are who they are. They do what they do. So understand that. Hold on, wrong my plate. Okay, where we at? Okay, yeah. But that's the ego self. All that's ego. My man was pure ego. And some people go through their life egoistic. Ain't nothing changed unless you, the individual, change it. So understand that part. But watch this. But those limited and finite experience, watch this, at the end can never what? Lead to fulfillment. So what? The soul remain disintegrated with spirit integrated is life and disintegration is death. Why? Because it leads to the notion of what? Mortality. Nebthet. Integration leads to understanding our set. Who's our set? Our set is the immortality and the transcendent of death. When you reach the next level past nature, past mortality, you become spiritually inclined. You start using your intuitive knowledge and wisdom. So when death happens to the body, you ain't affected conceptually. So let's go. So here we go. So those who are, watch this, those who are seduced by who? Nebthet. What's that? Like a star. She's nature. We fall in love with the world. Everybody loves the sunshine. Everybody loves that, and that's fine. But watch this. Just like a star, he was led. It was led to death. She didn't kill him per se. Him making a baby by didn't help the cause either. But that's another story. But watch this. A star which was led to death. Recall the Assyrian resurrections myth. Remember, we let you know that these is myth. The Greeks were smart. All this stuff is mythological. I studied it. So it's just storytelling. It's just their concept and their viewpoints. But it's a teaching tool. Again, it's a language that you can teach. So philosophy and mythology go together. Why? Because you tell somebody something that don't make a difference if it actually happened. The purpose to get the message across. So that's the concept. So the myth is to deliver a message. There you go. So Set, watch this. According to the myth, Set was a jealous person. That's the ego. That's part of his character. And watch this. He envied Asar for a few reasons. Set wanted to be the king. He was jealous of him because he was the king. So he was jealous and he was leading himself to what? A road of negative thinking. Watch this. To begin with, and when the Satanian principle, which is what the ego self, is led through unrighteousness, through unmayat, which is unrighteousness, the opposite of mayat, to entertain thoughts of what? Self-importance, jealousy, envy. These lead to what? Anger, hatred, violence, and so on. To what? Disaster. The end result is not going to be good. Watch this. These thoughts will eventually what? Compel you to your personality to do what? Take action. You can have all the thoughts you want. You can let them run. Once you put that thought in action, now you got to be responsible for that. Why? Because the IRE is what you're going to put out. And if it's good, you'll be rewarded. If it's bad, you'll be punished. So if the thoughts lead you down that road, there's a price to pay. Watch this. And you take action. And guess what? That action being wrong and unrighteous due to what? The passions based on delusion, supported by what? Ignorance and vices. Nothing good there. All bad. And it's all self-inflicted. This led to what? This led to what? Asar's death, and this beckoning of the world of time and space leads to what? The death of human beings, and not just a single death, but they what? Reincarnate. They call it Ak. That means, and you have what? You will have more death experience, and it's like what? Consistent killing process that you are what? Doing to yourself. Bam! You're doing it to yourself. You keep doing the same thing over and over, and you're going to keep coming back, reincarnated, and keep living the same nonsense over and over. But you're doing it to yourself. So hence, when you know thyself, you can break the cycle for yourself. No matter how many past lives, don't make a difference. You can change it for yourself. That's my point. And my goal to get right thing is to know just that. Some of us need to start the process of getting it right and going. Okay, but watch this. It's called, and you will have more deaths, and it's like what? Constant killing process that you are doing to yourself. It's called constant suicide. Regeneration, reincarnation is because you're constantly killing yourself in life. You're gonna do nothing but what you want to do. The ego self will cause you to reincarnate. He loves that. He feeds off of that. That's why this is his domain, aka the devil, Satan, y'all call him what, but this is what he wants. The earthly. He's a four-legged animal. Your spirit, your higher self, is a winged animal, meaning it can rise, it can leave. He can't leave. He don't want you to leave, so he keep making you do the same thing. Self fetters is self-inflicted problems, and this is what your ego will do to you. Wow. It took a lot, but I hope you get the message. That is what happens, watch this, to what? An ignorant soul, an unenlightened soul. When you are what? Indulging in the world of time and space out of what? Ignorance of your higher self. It leads to what? Suffering and then death. But that is not necessarily a bad thing. Watch this. If it leads to the process of what? Increasing wisdom. However, you're learning from your experiences. However, it can be a process of interminable suffering if the wisdom never dawns. If you never get to know yourself, you're doomed to go over again. So Nebthet Nebthet principles of what? Death is supposed to be a good thing that should not be thought of as what? A bad thing. Why? It's a necessary process. But death will come over and over again if you what? Don't get enlightened. That's the caveat that you get to get past Nebthet to find out the next level. So watch this. Through death, but a real death is what? To the worldly. That's what you should die to. Your worldly desires and your egoistic ignorance. I'm trying to not kill you, but enlighten you to that. So when death comes to this, you good to go. Help you with that. This should not be such a bad thing. Watch this, because through death, a real death is to the worldly desire. Again, ego. But the soul, watch this, the soul can be led to a spiritual awakening through Asad. Here we go. That is what happened to Asad. Nephthys killed him. Asad brought him back. You know this story? What's that? Something said, somebody said something brought him back. Jealousy kill you, but curiosity killed the cat, and something brought him back. Whatever. Well, I can't think about. We had the little nursery rhyme as a kid, but that shows you one will take and one will give. So that's what the power of our set. She's a bad girl, and that's what happened to Asar, as we learned from the Asarian resurrection myth. She brought him back to life for a short period of time. Why? For the purpose of impregnating her physically, conceptually. That's how the myth goes. And he considered to be God. What's this? How he got the narrative? Asar was God. He died as a physical being, but his wife brought him back to life for the purpose of what? Consummating the marriage and getting pregnant so he can have his spirit resurrected in his offspring, which is his son. And then all the Trinity, Father, Son, and the Spirit is always the Father, Son, the wife, the Father, the Mother, and the Son. We got a few stories about the daughter, but I just heard another one say it's always the son, but not trilogy concept. It's always the male offspring. Why? The reincarnation of the father. If it was a female, it's reincarnation of the mother. So that's a good concept. And it works out once you connect the dots. We got a bunch of dots. Those are fragments. Those are little ideas and pockets of thoughts and conversations you may have or heard something or read something, but you don't really have all the connections, so the picture ain't clear. My job is to connect them dots for you so you can get a clear picture. Hope you understand that concept. I just came up with that one for the planetarium thing I was looking at the other day, so I like that idea. So watch this. Now, for ordinary people who are caught up. Watch this. This is where they take y'all as ignorant, who are caught up in the world, the prospect of saying goodbye to worldliness, worldly pleasures, and the pursuit of egoistic desires is what? Inconceivable. That's why you fight like ought to be. Why? When this life is over, because you don't know no other one. That's all you know. That's why. So watch this. Now, for the sage and the saint, people who are what? Enlightened. Good to be in that number. Watch this. The concept of death to the world of time and space is wonderful and something they what? Look forward to. I ain't looking to die, but I'm not afraid of it either. That's the difference. Watch this. Why? My house in order. You look forward to it. Why? Sometimes something to run to end what and promote. Not running around saying, all right, let's look at no. I'm just saying for those aspirants who are increasing in understanding, becoming conscious, they look to what the sages to what teach them more of this philosophy. So what? So now they can learn. This is what I want my young people. They can learn to what? Avoid the folly of most human beings who don't get the knowledge early in life and they make all these dumb mistakes and realize later on, oh, I didn't know. So let's start the nonsense and get in the truth at an early age. That'll start that process real quick. Now, the ordinary, spiritual, ignorant people, again, they say the masses is ignorant. They call you stupid, politely, spiritually ignorant. Mm, okay? But you people are what? Y'all are egotistically and ignorantly, you think that you are going to find some peace and calm and quiet where in this world and some fulfillment. That's the part you get way wrong. That's the delusion that you're living under. So watch this. There are many people, for example, who take vacations, say to the Bahamas. Yeah, they have a good time. If you can take a vacation, that means financially you're doing okay. You're in a good position. I'm not there. So that don't move me. I have no aspiration to go on vacation to do none of that. Oh, you would? Nope, just don't care. Got other things that's more important, all right, to me. Now, being away temporarily from your job, your family, your worries, and your personal anxieties. You hear say temporarily. Oh, I just want to get a break. Okay, watch this. So they see how wonderful things seem to be. So they try to move there, and after going through all the trouble of moving there because it's a better place, they have what? The same problems. Plus possibly some new ones they discovered once they what? Begin to live there. If you're there temporarily, it seems good. But when you move there, all of a sudden you got the same problem you have you back there. That's what they tell you. So watch this. All the things that you don't realize, the same family issues, work-related issues are there, and there's no trouble. Excuse me, new trouble may even arise. Okay, like you may have too many mosquitoes, or a war may break out, or something else that may happen that is what unforeseen. But the idea is that, like the ancient Egyptian proverb states, searching for oneself, listen, searching for oneself in the world is what? The pursuit of an illusion. Chasing your tail, going nowhere. Watch this, they're gonna prove it. Watch this. So watch this. The real death that Nebthet should be leading to is what? A death of the illusionist of the world that leads to what? Discernment. Her son, her offspring is discernment. And watch this. That death of discernment means learning from untruth, which is going to lead you to not pursue the superficial pleasures, cardinal virtues of the world, sexual pleasures in time and space. Meaning just satisfying yourself. How about that? All the pleasures you get in time and space, if you're doing it for that, then you ain't serving your higher self, you're serving your lower self. So all you preachers and all them crooked guys who do that and want to be touchy feely and that's just you, and you have to pay for that. So understand that. So watch this. So that is the kind of death that is to be sought through what? A righteous cultivation of your personality and through what? The disciplines of right thinking philosophy, aka the Kemetic spiritual aspirant, which is Haru. Keep telling you that. And when that happens, aka knowing thyself, that discerning insight of who? Anubis, Ampu, as we know him, develops. Once your discerning qualities, you can recognize real from unreal. Them bootleg preachers, them shady, fast talking, smooth dudes, you start to recognize them, and they don't have a chance then. Okay, them silver tongued smooth guys. Once you get your ampu, your discernment up, that ability to what? Know right from wrong, and then to follow the path of what? Righteousness will develop. This is what Ampu represents. What? Although he is not a direct divinity per se, because he ain't in the lineup, but on the tree, right? He's an ancillary divinity, which is, if you will, of the Assyrian resurrection myth and the tree, so he is an important principle in our studies. I give him big clout, and he has big clout as his own. So trust me, he ain't born. He's an offspring from nature and spirit. He's discernment. Okay. Again, aspect of your character that you need to master. We got him in there too. All right. So watch this. So that this death, that Nebthet, wow, is beckoning us towards is what? Actually a wonderful mystery. There we go. And this is one of the reasons why sexuality is given as one of the symbols of Nebthet. Sexuality between her and the star, here we go, is paramount in the understanding of the fact that the sexuality in the world of time and space is that the principle of what? Generation in the realm of time and space, and operates in many human pursuits, but most grossly in what? The physical sexual act of intercourse. Why? Between two physical bodies, be it animal, human, insects, etc., it leads to what? Generation of what? Offspring. Offspring means something coming out of you. Let me stop. Get to the lesson. All generated things in the physical world, including offspring, are what? Are the same, what they come out of other things. Only thing, watch this, only things that are whole do not come out of other things, and do not give themselves to things that come out of other things. So what am I getting at here? What am I talking about? It's rather like, watch this, a riddle. But if you are whole, you are not going to what? Indulge in things that are what? Unwhole. But somebody comes to you and asks you to do what? Go out and party, okay? With him, and go and have a good time. hmm So you say, well, I'm already having a good time right here and within myself. The party's right here. The party is over here. So I don't need to worry about what you're doing, where you're going. When you get to that level, you won't have no friends, but at least you'll be happy and content. Watch this. I don't need to be going out with you or anybody else. Why? I'm that person which is going out. You're that person that's going out in what? To a bar today and another one tomorrow. And then you're going out across town to another nightclub. They're going to fly to New York. Y'all just wilding out over the city, search of what? Y'all in search of what? More enjoyment. You already, but you gotta just have more. That's the ego. It's never gonna be satisfied, and it's showing you this and that lifestyle that they keep searching. They keep more thrills. They come thrill seekers. Okay, they want that thrill. They want that next excitement. That's all ego driven. Watch this. So more entertainments, and the reality more. If that's what you think, entertainment. What if you into sexual perversions? Some of them guys in. So the more money they got, the more elaborate and more freaky and perverted they can get. Why? Because somebody's gonna entertain that. Okay, so watch this. You find in New York in search of more enjoyment, more entertainment, and what in reality just more distraction away from what is what real and true. Consider that if you have a mature attitude about life and insight into the teachings that you gain pleasure and peace from, meditative practice, study of the philosophical teachings, and you get enjoyment from looking at the iconographs of the Neteru and listening or reading about the myths about the Neteru and their teachings, you got me. That's just what I've been doing. That's just what I do. So watch this. That person is going in pursuit of generation. Okay, watch this. That person is in the pursuit of generation, the fragmentation reality of life. And watch this. You are in the realm of seeking the whole based on what? The higher truth of the studying of the underlying spirit, in which what? All things are connected. Hello. Get to know you and you know everything you need. Watch this. Now that pursuit of wholeness gives you what? Peace of mind, as opposed to what a person distracted and undiscerning mind, no peace. Okay. Constant agitation. Watch this. That person has a what? Clouded intellect and a restless heart. He mean well. Good. There we go. Good intention. But with clouded intellect, ignorance of self, you're going to make a lot of self-inflicted mistakes. Fetters. Watch this. You have a clear intellect, and therefore you have depth to the things that what that person is into. I don't party, I don't drink, I don't do all that. I don't do nothing. But I said I didn't used to. I don't now. I made the decision. That's what changing is all about. If something you was doing didn't serve you, then you should stop doing it. Some of us continue. However, watch this. However, that person is what? Giving himself to who? Death, but really unable to fully fulfill the promise of that death. So he must continue what? Pursuing enjoyment after enjoyment. And then at the end of life, also come back and what? Do it again. I'm pretty sure he's back to what? To be reincarnated again. So in life, there will be what? No abiding peace for that person. And in death, there will still be no peace either. Only more comings to the world again and running like a hamster on the wheel, doing a lot of activity, running fast, but getting nowhere. Now that is a pathetic situation, and most people in the world are in it right to this day. And my personal goal is to save as many as I could from that nonsense by giving them information that they can use for themselves and know themselves. Watch this. That's how they live, and that is why, listen, the world is in the condition it's in now. We're going to hell in the handbasket, and nobody seems to care about it. They just know we're going, but ain't trying to do nothing about it. That to me is insane. And it is filled with what? People pursuing egoistic desires and not listening to the voices what? Of reason, wisdom, and enlightenment. Ain't no spirituality going no more. Everything is physical. Everything is monetary. God don't exist. This is the new God. Because we've been run by egoistic, not good people. How about that? In other words, the Ampu principle or quality has not been born in them yet. That means y'all got poor discernment. And therefore, their death is what? A form of suffering. But the death of the authentic spiritual aspirant is what? A boon. It is a pleasurable experience. Why? They don't have any feeling of missing anything in the world or the feeling of desires anything in the world. When it's over here. Why? I got somewhere else to go. To them, all the money, again, could care less. All the money that wealthy people can have cannot compare to this peace. You can keep your money. Set and Nebthet are the divinities of time and space. They keep you here. And if you recognize that, you will continue to be here. Watch this. Now I'm wrapping it up. Thank you. I know it's a little long, but good stuff. Okay. Set and Nebthet are what? Divinities of time and space, of the gross ego consciousness. Hello. Asar and Aset are what? Divinities of the higher aspect. They give birth to Haru, higher self. Set and Nephthys don't give birth. Why? They can't create nothing. That's why. Moving on. And the ego, watch this. They're the divinities of the higher aspect of the ego conscious. They are higher aspects of your personality. As we said before, when Set and Nephthys are mastered, That's what I'm trying to give you all the stuff so you can master it for yourself. And when you're mastered and when a star and a set are what now discovered, the higher self, then the higher aspect of who? Hello, that's you, is born. Hello. It's called awakening, born, wake, enlightening. We call it nihas, but it's born into what? One eventually becomes what? The master of who? One's personality, aka oneself. And the lower realm of time and space of the gross physical world. The idea is to master yourself while you're here. Become Haru in the physical world. Who that? The master self, aka know thyself. I want to give you here a preview, right? I'm wrapping it up, of extraordinary aspect of the teachings related to the goddess. I will mention a special secret of goddess I said, and this is going to be good. You must realize that the special secret that I'm about to reveal to you, in which I will elaborate in the next lesson, I got you, but watch this, and predicted upon the idea that you as an aspirant have what? Mastered. I'm assuming at this level you have mastered the other teachings so far, so that you have what? Purified yourself to a certain degree. Still got work to do, but you're working. That you have what? Sought to act in accordance with the ways of the teachers, aka Mayat, right thinking philosophy. What happens? Now that you have sought to purify your body, become a right thinker, your mind and your actions in accordance with my teachings through what? Daily study of the philosophy, and that you have what? Sought to promote the righteous worship of the divinities of the divine where? Within yourself, and so on and so forth. Knowing thyself and learning about the divinity and aspects of yourself. That's mastery of each one. That's self-mastery when you get them all done. Otherwise, you will what? Not realize its full meaning yet. The secret will have no use for you. Why? You ain't learning. Even now, as I tell you it, you will not be able to what? Have sensitive. You'll be sensitive to realize the worldly depth and the importance of what has been said. Watch this. This has been said already, and yet I am putting it in such a way that I have made you wait a while, wait a whole week to hear about it. This is the lesson he talked about. But you are not going to hear about it fully today. Why? Because the teachings should be given in order so that you can build gradually on the lessons, the teachings, and lead yourself to fully to be able to appreciate it. If the teachings are given to you too soon, you will not fully appreciate it. You will not be able to what? You won't even know if you should or should not do what you should or should not do. That's called confusion. It's called a bad state of mind, not a good place to be, okay? You can't serve two masters. When you're confused, that means you don't know who you want to serve, yourself or your higher self. Get it together. We talked previously about, watch this, how the secret of ourself, this is good, that allows a personality to have what? Respite and break from what? The realm of time and space. And there are two specific occasions in which our set performs the special act, which is what? That is related to the aspect of or her epitaph of Nebthet, referred to as Earth. U-R-T, Heka. We know Heka's word is the power. Okay. Aset is also known as her Heka in the Dua. And she is what? Listen, the most powerful, the most popular deity known as Earth Heka. Earth Heka means the goddess of what? Verse or great or chant words of power. The mean when she speaks, right, listen, conceptually. Now, on two occasions, which I will tell you about next time in detail, but Aset used her words of power in order to stop the realm of time and space, the realm of generation. With her words of power, she was able to stop the mental distraction, to stop temporarily what? The realm of generation, in order to give the soul a rest so that it could penetrate into what? The higher realms of consciousness. It is as if the ancient Egyptian proverb, virtue fails that are frustrated by passions at every turn. You should realize that if you are, watch this now, this is important. Hope you catch this one. I call it being God conscious. You should realize that if you are constantly, and we emphasize the word again, constantly here, distracted by the realm of time and space. Meaning, if you caught up in the world, and you're constantly caught up in the world, that will what? That will stop the positive spiritual movement. That would be like being in the back of a pickup truck without having a chance to get seated properly. That means you know the ride, but you ain't ready. Watch this. Someone makes you jump in, and right away they step on the gas and they tell you what, hang on somewhere or somehow, excuse me. And you were trying to find a way, but you don't have a seatbelt on, you don't have any kind of protection, and they go over bump and you go flying. That's a reckless way of living. That's what they're trying to explain to you. That's what it's like. Okay, it's a perfect example. Watch this. Now, on the other hand, suppose you have been able to what? Take a seat, secure yourself, and then go. That's what you should do. This, metaphorically speaking, would be like calming the waters, as it were, of the mind. Distractions in the mind, in order to have what? A peaceful time where you are not overburdened by the realm of time and space, so you could gather yourself and reflect on what? The deeper realities of life. And the secret of causing that to happen is what? Uttering the chant. I don't do the chant. I do calling out names when I do my thing. But if you were to practice those as they have what outlined, eventually what will happen is that your mental operations will cease and you will have an entry into what? The nether worlds. That's the Akashic records in your mind. That's where you can get the intuitive wisdom from. That's who Offset represents. Now into the higher consciousness, leading you to what? Brief communion with your higher self, with who? Asar and the Urantus. And this is what the great secret of Offset and the aspect of Earth Heka. But we are going to discuss those in particular next time, next lesson. I think that should be it. Okay, as the teaching goes, as the scriptures say many times, for those who have the ears, let them hear. If you realize the importance of what has been said, you should be looking at all the books I have written. This one man speaking talking to us, Muta Ashby, and look into all the things I have said about Heka, which is the words of power, and especially in the initiation book, and realize that what it has to be practiced. Here again, it has to be practiced in a way by mature and purified individuals. Otherwise, it can have what? Deleterious effects, and that's not good. Deleterious means something opposite of good, which is bad. Okay, so therefore, this is why what you are told to practice the chants as enjoined, and that way there will be having full and total effect on the mind. And we will discuss this detail in my next lesson. And that is for now is the aspect of Nebthet and the Anuyan Theurgy Tree of Life and the mysteries of what? Life and death. Bam. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Yeah, 43 minutes again. Hiya. Thank you. I'll be back.